Hello, you fabulous human. I am Kelly from Lifestyle Finance. Thank you for clicking on the ad. I'm going to assume you're here because you want to know a little bit more information about what it would be like to add finance as a payment option into your business. I always love these conversations, and before I jump into anything, I just like to get to know who I'm chatting with a little bit. So even after you've watched this video, if you want to drop me like a voice note or a few lines about what it is that you do, who your ideal client is, and tell me a little bit about your product. So when we're looking at using this kind of finance, the minimum your product needs to be is $5,000. Anything less than that, unfortunately, we don't have finance options for yet. However, anything over that, up to 50,000 AUD, we can definitely help you with. And for those of you that are charging in USD, that's fine. We can totally make that work. We just convert it to AUD, and that's how we have you funded. So let's jump in, right? Okay, so usually the first question I get asked is how long does it take to get this set up? So short answer to that is we can get you ready to go in one call, anywhere between 90 minutes to 2 hours once we take you through our full onboarding process. After that, you are good, ready, and rocking to go and can start sending us through clients from that moment. In terms of how quickly we can get cash in bank, it's roughly about 72 hours. Now, some of those are going to be a little bit quicker, particularly if your clients are organized. Yet, if we have to do some document chasing or your clients don't have their documents to us before we get on the call, then sometimes it can push it out a little bit. Or if there's a few like technicalities within the deal, that can also make it go a little bit longer. However, our team is super tight and pride ourselves on our communication. So every step along the way, you'll know exactly what's going on with your client, where it's at, and when you can expect to receive cash in bank. Most of our lenders will pay you directly to your bank account. Some don't have that facility set up yet. If we have to use that particular lender, we will absolutely let you know. And so we'll either say send us the invoice or send the client the invoice for you to receive payment. In terms of how this works for you, this isn't like those buy now, pay later services you may have seen floating around within the coaching space that were really popular a few years ago. This is personal loan lending. So what that means is we're using personal loans to get your clients finance, which means we have so much more flexibility in terms of how we serve your clients. It's also a completely free service. So whatever you put on your invoice is exactly what we get you paid. There's no merchant fees. There's no issues if your client doesn't or can't make a repayment. There is no reflection back on you because we've gone through the bank and all responsible lending laws have been met to make sure your client can easily and effortlessly afford to take on this new commitment. So if there are any payment issues, it's completely with the bank. And the only thing that you're responsible for is giving your client an amazing experience working with you. And the great part about it is you get paid from day one. So that means you can just show up as the coach and do what you love, and you don't have to worry about any of this payment outsourcing stuff because it has been put with the bank where it belongs, where they're capable of mitigating that kind of risk. In terms of interest rates, it's another common question we get asked. Look, in current market, you're looking at anywhere between about 7.99% up to about 18.99% on profiles that aren't super strong. Generally, though, I find we fund most things somewhere between 10 to 14%. And I guess when you compare that to where most coaches put their in-house payment plans, they usually add an extra 15 to 20% on top of what their pay in full fees are anyway. So essentially, by using finance, they're actually getting a little bit of a cheaper rate, and they've got so much more flexibility with it. Now, when we're working with your clients and when we're getting them finance, the cool thing about using personal loans is that we can give them a longer loan term. So instead of them having to have it paid off within 12 months or the time in which they're working with you, we can extend that out over 5 years if needed. And the cool thing about that is it means that your client can easily absorb this into their budget while they start working with you, getting all the resources they need to create that return on investment. The best part about all of our products is that they can pay out at any point for zero fees. So if they've only had their loan for 12 months or 18 months, even though it's a 5-year loan, they're only paying interest for the time that they're got the loan. Beyond that though, the bank's like, you know what, if you want to pay us off and pay it out early, we'll just write off the rest of that interest. So it's really flexible from that perspective in terms of how your client chooses to pay it off. Most clients though generally find they take a 5-year loan, they usually pay it off at about the 2.5-3 year mark, just because it's usually suits their budget, suits their cash flow. However, every conversation we have with your client is a needs-based conversation, and we create a solution for your client that fits their budget. Also, too, like if your client is doing any additional work with you, so if they need to get website builds, if they need extra money for flights and accommodation to be able to fly in to work with you, if they need money for marketing or any other potential project they might do with you outside of the course that they're enrolling in, we can get them extra funds at the time we're organizing the finance. So there's some cool things like that we can do. Also, too, I know sometimes your client might say to you, oh, look, I really want to do this, but I'm still paying out this other course. When that's done, then I'm going to come work with you. With finance, we can pay out that other one and enroll them with you at the same time. And also any other small debts that they might have. So credit cards, personal loans, we do our very best to try and roll it all into one. So usually what happens in these sorts of situations where your client's paying lots of little bits to different providers, when we roll it all together and even add in the new fees to work with you, what your client ends up paying on a month-to-month basis is typically less than what it was before we had the conversation. So they love the fact that we can do this kind of service for them, because it really does help them start with their best foot forward with you. Now, in terms of getting this set up, so like I said before, this is a free service. Once we've got you set up, you'll never receive a fee from us. The only time that we do have a fee, and that's with the initial setup. So to get this set up and integrated into your business, the initial fee is $1,111. And what that does, it just allows us to integrate this fully into your business, give you full lifetime support, and take you through everything that you need to have this be a wash, rinse, repeat within your business. So as I mentioned earlier, the first call is anywhere between 90 minutes to 2 hours. At this point, I recommend you being there, plus anybody else that you have on your sales team that you want to be able to offer finance as a payment solution to your clients. Bring everybody, because what we do, we get everybody aligned around the idea of finance, because I know sometimes if people have tried working with finance before and they've been burnt, because I know there are some other products there and they have big promises, but they don't necessarily deliver. So we align everybody around this as being a really awesome idea that's going to serve your clients. And then we go through and I teach you the minimum benchmarks that your clients need to be meeting for us to be able to guarantee a 98% approval rate. And the benchmarks, they're really generous, including self-employed people. We don't even need tax returns. A minimum is 90 days bank statements. So we've got so much flexibility in terms of finding solution for your client. So we go through all of that. We teach you how to price your product in alignment with finance so that you know exactly how to tell your client what the finance options are. So say, for example, if you had a 10K product roughly on finance, it's somewhere around $70 a week. We show you how to use our little payment chart. So you could say to your client, you can pay in full, or we have finance options starting as little as $70 a week. And trust me, when you say that, their eyes light up and you become their best friend. So we go through all of that. We just check in and make sure that you've got the right contracts in place to support you to be able to receive the pay in fulls like this, and also it coming from finance. We go through invoicing with you, and then we've got some really cool marketing tools to help you introduce this to your platform. So one for social media and then also for email. The other thing that we do is we create a personalized sales script for you so that when you get off this call, you feel absolutely confident that you know exactly what to say to the client that is in complete alignment with your business and your sales process. And then we also have a really awesome strategy in terms to go back and approach anybody who's recently said no because they thought they couldn't afford it, so that we can scoop those clients up and get them working with you where they should be, because my goal is to get that initial investment back within your account within the first 2 weeks, ideally. And plus there's a whole bunch of other goodies in there. There's some things in there around objection handling. We've got templates to make sure the client is qualified before you get on the call, plus some other really amazing bonuses. So that's all included with the onboarding, plus ongoing support. We get you set up with our internal communication system so that you've got everything that you need to succeed here. And like I said, we'll just keep working with you and supporting you until this is a wash, rinse, repeat within your business. So where to from here? So what I'm going to do next is drop 3 links. One is if you're ready to go. You're like, yep, this sounds awesome. I want to get this set up within my business. I want it done now. You will click on the link that says get finance for my business. When you go here, it'll take you to my website. You'll have another video of me having a little chat with you. Scroll down, there'll be a list of all the things that you get that are included with the onboarding that I mentioned before. And then you just click the I'm ready to get finance for my business now button. When you click that, you'll have two payment options. You can either do the pay in full and save a little bit, or you can split that over two payments, because I know a lot of the time when people come to us, it is for cash flow purposes, and that's what we do. We really help you with that by getting you paid in full. So you can choose which one works for you, and then you can go through, choose a time in our calendar that works for you, and we're ready to go. Next link will be, you know what, Cal, that sounds really great. I've still got a few more questions. So if you are in that boat, please click the FAQ link. This will take you straight to my webpage. There, I think now there's maybe 12 1 to 2 minute videos of potentially anything that I've missed. You will definitely find it there. We've also got on there some testimonials from all of our existing business partners to see how they're going with integrating this into their businesses and the difference it's made. I've also got a podcast over there where I interview all of the amazing business partners about the cool stuff they're doing and how finance has been making a difference to them and also to their clients. So you can check us out a little bit there. And then the third link is, if you still got a few more questions, you don't really want to go to the website, but you just want to talk to us, then click the third one, which will be a connection call. And that'll allow you to jump on a call with Laura from my team, who is our Queen of Operations. She is amazing. She looks after all of our incredible business partners and potentially new business partners to help get this integrated into their business. And she'll be more than happy to take you through the process and answer any questions that you have there. And the final thing that you'll see, this year, we're supporting two different charities. So one is to help stop human trafficking, and the other is to an animal rescue here in Victoria that they're called Forever Friends, and they rescue all animals and help rehome them to give them safe homes for the rest of their life. When you do make that payment to get the onboarding set up, you get to choose where we donate $50 to. So I really enjoyed this conversation with you, and I look forward to exploring this further. Remember to tell me a little bit about you, what it is that you do, who your clients are, and I look forward to doing really cool things with you and creating great impact and serving your clients.